it off the right hand side, I could kind of bundle it all together as one sort of package of debris. That didn't really work. So again, more oil. When in doubt, more oil. So think about 5 or 6 squirts of ear roll here, suctioning up the excess, and we'll see if we can move this. Now it's definitely more anchored onto the left hand side. It's just the left hand side is always sort of a blind spot for me, and you can't really see in there very well. So normally what I should be doing is kind of tilting the endoscope sort of to the left so I can see round the corner. But it's very difficult for me to get that angle and hold the suction probe at the same time and sort of get into that area. So I'm sort of seeing if I can just detach this debris off the right hand side. And again, even just that little bit of loosening will gain me some position. And again, you can see all the oil glistening there, giving me some lubrication. And this kind of central bit here, now we can see some movement right there, which is a good sign for me. So I think I'm using the fine end here. The reason that I'm using the fine end, I mean, this would come out very, very easily with a standard size probe, but I'm using a fine end here, probably around minus 500 millimeters of mercury, something like that. The reason I'm using a fine end is because the eardrum is actually exposed back there, and there's not too much of a hearing loss, so it can get very, very loud when we're that deep in the ear. But here we go, finally managed to kind of de-anchor it, and I'm just going to slide it forwards here. And what you will see in the background is that the eardrum is nicely intact, it looks great, but there's basically kind of dried flakes of very, very dark wax on the drum. So there's no horrible pathology going on here. It is just, you know, quite a severe long-term case of earwax impaction. So dragging it forwards, again, olive oil is doing a beautiful job at creating this sort of nice slick surface for me to drag the debris out on. Again, it's a bit like moving furniture, this. It's an awkward shape, but there we have it. Again, very, very black, very dark. And now we'll have another look. There are a few little bits and pieces here that we need to clear up. So if we move in, we can see the eardrum back there. It may not look recognizable, but what you're looking for is kind of bluish grey skin. And you can see just on the right-hand side, you can see that kind of coming through. But obviously it's kind of smeared and smattered with wax. This last little bit here, for some reason, as I was working on this, I thought, why isn't this coming away? But like most things that are hidden in the trench, in the little recess, they're always bigger than what you see. So it's kind of an iceberg situation. So I'm just kind of trying to roll it to the right-hand side, and away it comes. So again, it's just like another sort of plate formation, really. Again, dead skin there. And then there's one last little bit that I thought I might as well go in and get. I thought I've gone this far, I might as well do a thorough job. You can see just on the right-hand side there's a sheet of dead skin. And if it was just ordinary wax, I might just leave it, but there's no sense in leaving dead skin there. And there we have it. So although it looks dirty, in other words, the eardrum doesn't look pretty at this point, but it is totally normal. You know, those